What if Star Wars characters went to Hogwarts? Today we're taking some of the most popular characters in Star Wars and sorting them into their Hogwarts house.
Difficult, very difficult.
We'll kick things off with Luke Skywalker, the central hero of the original Star Wars trilogy. Luke is a quintessential hero who displays bravery and courage throughout his journey. From leaving his home on Tatooine to confronting Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine, he consistently faces dangerous situations with courage. His willingness to stand up against the Empire and his dedication to the Jedi cause highlight the valor and heroism celebrated in Gryffindor. At the same time, Luke also demonstrates loyalty and a strong sense of justice, both key traits of Hufflepuff. He consistently shows compassion and a desire to help others. He's loyal to his friends and the Rebel Alliance, plus he remains committed to peace and fairness. Luke's journey also involves learning and wisdom, particularly in understanding the Force and becoming a Jedi. His moments of reflection and introspective nature do show a Ravenclaw-like quest for understanding. However, his primary characteristics are much more aligned with bravery and moral integrity opposed to a scholarly pursuit of knowledge. And truthfully, Luke also exhibits ambition and resourcefulness, particularly in his training and growth as a Jedi. His determination to redeem Darth Vader despite the overwhelming odds and risks showcases a certain level of cunning and strategic thinking. Ultimately, though, his motivations are rooted in altruism and compassion rather than personal ambition or power. Considering Luke Skywalker's defining traits of bravery, moral courage, and his role as a heroic figure, Gryffindor is the most fitting house for him. Up next, we have Princess Leia Organa, another key figure throughout the series. She's known for her leadership, bravery, and commitment to justice. First, let's consider Gryffindor, and Leia certainly embodies courage and leadership, both of which are key traits for Gryffindor House. From her early days as a leader in the Rebel Alliance to her role in the Resistance, Leia consistently demonstrates bravery and a willingness to face danger head-on. Her fearlessness in the face of powerful adversaries like Darth Vader and the Empire highlights her Gryffindor-like valor. Leia's loyalty to her friends and dedication to her cause are also significant aspects of her character. She's committed to ideals of freedom and justice, often putting the needs of others above her own. Her compassionate and caring nature, along with her strong work ethic, align well with Hufflepuff values. She's also intelligent, quick-witted, and a skilled diplomat. Her ability to think strategically, combined with her deep understanding of political and social dynamics, showcase her Ravenclaw-like intelligence and wisdom. There are Slytherin traits to consider as well. Leia's ambition and determination are evident in her efforts to rebuild the Republic and fight against the Empire, and later the First Order. She demonstrates resourcefulness and strategic thinking, especially in her leadership roles. Truthfully though, her motivations are focused more on the greater good, opposed to using her power for personal gain. Her courage in the face of overwhelming odds, her unwavering commitment to fighting for justice, and her heroic actions throughout her life embody the core values of Gryffindor. Considering Princess Leia's defining traits of bravery, leadership, and a strong moral compass, Gryffindor is the most fitting house for her. Han Solo is known for his charm, quick wit, and evolution from a self-serving smuggler to a hero of the Rebel Alliance. Han's resourcefulness and cunning are evident throughout his life, especially in his early days as a smuggler. He is ambitious, seeks wealth and success, and often uses his charm and wit to manipulate situations to his advantage. His adaptability and survival instincts do align with Slytherin traits. On the other hand, though, his character development throughout the series shows a movement towards fighting for a greater cause. He absolutely demonstrates bravery and courage in numerous situations, from piloting through dangerous battles to facing off against formidable foes. His willingness to join the Rebel Alliance and fight for a cause greater than himself, particularly in the battle to destroy the Death Star, showcases Gryffindor's valor. His transition from a rogue smuggler to a key figure in the fight against the Empire also highlights his growing sense of responsibility and heroism. Now, while Han's independent nature might seem at odds with Hufflepuff's values, he does show loyalty and dedication to his friends, particularly to Chewbacca, Leia, and eventually Luke. His actions, especially as he grows closer to the Rebel Alliance, reflect a commitment to fairness and justice, qualities aligned with Hufflepuff. Han is also quick-witted and clever, often using his intelligence to get out of tricky situations. His strategic thinking in battles and during smuggling runs showcases a sharp mind. But is that enough for the Sorting Hat to place Han in Ravenclaw? I don't think so. Given his defining characteristics of bravery, charm, and a willingness to take on dangerous missions for the greater good, and while there could be an argument there for Slytherin, I think Gryffindor is the most fitting house for him. While he embodies traits from multiple houses, Han's courage, leadership, and his journey towards becoming a hero who values justice and loyalty make Gryffindor the best fit. Master Yoda is one of the most iconic and wise characters in the Star Wars universe. He also happens to embody many traits that resonate with various Hogwarts houses. For starters, Yoda exhibits courage and a strong sense of duty throughout his life, particularly in his leadership roles within the Jedi Order. His willingness to face powerful adversaries like Darth Sidious and his determination to protect and train the next generation of Jedi show a heroic and courageous nature. His commitment to the Jedi Order and role as a mentor reflect loyalty and dedication, both key traits of Hufflepuff. He also has a nurturing approach to teach young Jedi, and when coupled with his fairness and compassion, this also aligns with Hufflepuff values. And while Yoda is resourceful and strategic, his motivations are far more selfless and focused on the greater good. For him, it's not about personal ambition or power. His actions are driven by a desire to maintain balance and peace, which align less with Slytherin's emphasis on personal advancement. Yoda also displays wisdom, intelligence, and an incredibly deep understanding of the Force, which are quintessentially Ravenclaw traits. His reflective nature, emphasis on knowledge, and pursuit of enlightenment through study and meditation make him an ideal fit for Ravenclaw. He consistently seeks to understand the mysteries of the Force and the universe, showcasing a love for learning and wisdom that defines the Ravenclaw house. And I would say those are his defining characteristics: wisdom, intelligence, and a lifelong pursuit of knowledge and understanding. Yoda's profound connection to the Force, his role as a teacher and philosopher, and his reflective nature definitely embody the core values of Ravenclaw house more than any other. For Master Yoda, it's gotta be Ravenclaw. Now, Yoda was almost certainly gonna be Ravenclaw, but what about Obi-Wan Kenobi? Obi-Wan certainly exhibits bravery and heroism throughout his life. From his early days as a Padawan under Qui-Gon Jinn, to his role as a mentor for Anakin and later Luke, Obi-Wan often faces danger with courage and composure. He confronts powerful adversaries such as Darth Maul, General Grievous, and Darth Vader, which all highlight his Gryffindor-like courage and dedication to the greater good. He also demonstrates loyalty, patience, and a strong sense of duty, which are key Hufflepuff traits. He's committed to the Jedi Order, mentoring Anakin and Luke, and always has a consistent sense of fairness and justice that fall in line with Hufflepuff. Like Yoda, Obi-Wan is also intelligent and wise, often providing thoughtful counsel. His critical thinking, reflective nature, and pursuit of knowledge align with Ravenclaw's appreciation for wisdom and learning. And while he is resourceful and strategic, his motivations are definitely more altruistic. They're focused on duty and the well-being of others rather than personal ambition or power. His actions are guided by a strong moral compass and a commitment to the Jedi Code, which distinguish him from the typical Slytherin archetype. Now, like Yoda, Obi-Wan could fit into a few different houses, but I think his most defining traits are bravery, wisdom, and a strong sense of duty. His courage in the face of danger, willingness to sacrifice for the greater good, and unwavering commitment to the Jedi Order most embody the core values of Gryffindor. Rey Skywalker is yet another Star Wars character who consistently demonstrates immense bravery and courage throughout her journey. From her decision to leave her solitary life on Jakku, to joining the Resistance and facing powerful enemies like Kylo Ren and Emperor Palpatine, Rey embodies the valor and heroism that define Gryffindor. Her willingness to stand up against the dark side and fight for justice highlights that Gryffindor spirit. Now, she also shows loyalty and compassion, especially towards her friends and those in need. She's dedicated to helping others, as seen in her interactions with characters like Finn, BB-8, and Leia. And these traits definitely reflect Hufflepuff's values of kindness and fairness. Rey is also curious about the Force and seeks to learn about her origins. But I would say her journey is far more characterized by action and moral courage opposed to a pursuit of knowledge for its own sake. Her moments of reflection and introspection do show a Ravenclaw-like quest for understanding, but this is secondary to her more defining traits. She does display resourcefulness and determination as well, particularly in her survival on Jakku and ability to adapt to various situations. Her ambitious pursuit to become a Jedi and her complex relationship with her lineage could hint at more Slytherin traits. Ultimately, though, I don't think there's any doubt that Rey's defining traits are bravery, determination, and her role as a heroic figure, which means that Gryffindor is the most fitting house for her. Boba Fett is an iconic bounty hunter from the Star Wars universe, known for his skill, cunning, and complex moral code. He does exhibit bravery in dangerous situations, but his actions are typically driven by personal or professional motives rather than a sense of valor or heroism. Gryffindor values courage in the face of danger, often for noble causes, which is less aligned with Boba Fett's primary motivation. He's certainly not typically characterized by the nurturing or patient qualities associated with Hufflepuff. However, he does demonstrate a form of loyalty, particularly in his adherence to the bounty hunter's code and later in his relationship with the Tusken Raiders, as well as his allies in The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. His loyalty tends to be selective and pragmatic rather than universally compassionate. Now, while he is intelligent and strategic, especially in tracking and capturing his bounties, his traits still don't align too closely with Ravenclaw's pursuit of knowledge and wisdom. His intelligence is more practical and survival-oriented, rather than being driven by a thirst for academic or philosophical understanding. Boba Fett's resourcefulness, ambition, and cunning are quintessential Slytherin traits. His career as a bounty hunter requires a high degree of tactical thinking, adaptability, and a willingness to navigate morally ambiguous situations. His ambition to establish his own power base, particularly in the Book of Boba Fett, demonstrates a Slytherin-like drive for influence and control. His methods, while sometimes ruthless, are calculated and pragmatic, which certainly reflects Slytherin's emphasis on cunning and strategic planning. I would say Boba Fett's defining traits are resourcefulness, ambition, and strategic cunning. He has an ability to navigate complex situations, a pragmatic approach to achieving his goals, and a desire for control and influence, which I think place him firmly in Slytherin. The Mandalorian is a Star Wars character known for his stoic demeanor, strong sense of duty, and adherence to a personal code of honor. He displays significant bravery and courage throughout his adventures, often risking his life to protect others, particularly Grogu. Of course, he's willing to confront powerful enemies and navigate dangerous situations. In many of those situations, we see his strong moral compass. And all of this clearly aligns with Gryffindor. His journey often involves doing what he believes is right, even if it goes against his own interest or safety. The Mandalorian's loyalty and dedication are also central aspects of his character. His commitment to the Mandalorian code, protective nature towards Grogu, and respect for the traditions of his people reflect Hufflepuff's values of loyalty, hard work, and fairness. His actions are often motivated by a deep sense of duty and compassion, particularly towards those he considers under his protection. He's also intelligent and tactically adept, particularly in combat and bounty hunting, but his actions are more guided by practicality and survival opposed to a pursuit of knowledge or wisdom. His quick thinking does showcase a sharp mind, but his defining traits are less aligned with the intellectual curiosity more typical of a Ravenclaw. Lastly, like Boba Fett, he does show resourcefulness and strategic thinking, both of which are essential for his survival and success as a bounty hunter. At the same time, his motivations are largely altruistic and guided by a sense of honor rather than personal ambition or a desire for power. His character development leads more towards selflessness and a protective nature, which is less typical of the traditional Slytherin archetype. Considering the Mandalorian's defining traits of bravery, loyalty, and a strong moral compass, Gryffindor is the most fitting house for him. Up next, we have Ahsoka, known for her growth as a Jedi and strong moral compass. Starting with Gryffindor, she exhibits bravery and courage throughout her life, often facing danger head-on. From her early days as Anakin Skywalker's Padawan to her later role in the Rebellion and beyond, she consistently demonstrates a willingness to stand up for what she believes is right. Her decision to leave the Jedi Order despite the risks and uncertainty reflect her Gryffindor-like valor and commitment to her own principles. It's true, she also shows loyalty and dedication, particularly towards her friends and those she seeks to protect. Her compassion and sense of justice are key aspects of her character. Her actions often reflect a deep commitment to fairness and the well-being of others, which aligns well with Hufflepuff. Ahsoka often questions and learns from her experiences, which demonstrate a thirst for knowledge and wisdom. Her reflective nature, strategic thinking, and pursuit of knowledge about the Force show a Ravenclaw-like quest for understanding. And while she does display resourcefulness and adaptability, especially in difficult situations, her motivations are more aligned with selflessness and a desire to help others rather than personal ambition. Now, if we consider all of Ahsoka's traits, I think we have yet another character where her defining traits are bravery, moral integrity, and a strong sense of justice. Her courage in the face of danger, willingness to stand by her beliefs, and ultimate commitment to protecting others embody the core values of Gryffindor. Mace Windu is a prominent Jedi Master in the Star Wars saga, known for his formidable combat skills, strong sense of duty, and unwavering commitment to the Jedi Order. Like many other Jedi on the list thus far, Mace exhibits immense bravery and courage, particularly in his leadership roles during the Clone Wars and his confrontations with the Sith. His willingness to face dangerous foes like Darth Sidious head-on, despite the significant risks, highlight his Gryffindor-like valor and commitment to justice. His actions are guided by a strong moral compass and a sense of duty to protect the galaxy. He's also incredibly dedicated to the Jedi Order and has a sense of fairness that aligns with Hufflepuff. That being said, I would say his demeanor is more stern and authoritative, which is less typical of Hufflepuff's more nurturing nature. Now, Mace Windu's intelligence and wisdom are also evident in his role on the Jedi Council. He has a deep understanding of the Force. His reflective and strategic nature, especially in combat, showcase a Ravenclaw-like appreciation for knowledge and mastery. He also created his own advanced form of lightsaber combat by controlling the darkness within himself, and he managed to do it without ever going over to the dark side. Now, admittedly, Mace is also ambitious and strategic, but his actions are primarily driven by a sense of duty and responsibility rather than personal gain or ambition. His focus on maintaining order and justice, coupled with his willingness to make difficult decisions for the greater good, distinguish him from the more self-serving traits typically associated with Slytherin. Now, I would say Mace is probably one of our most difficult characters to sort so far. He very well could end up being a hat stall between Gryffindor and Ravenclaw. At the end of the day, though, I have to give the slight edge to Gryffindor due to those defining traits of bravery, leadership, and his strong sense of duty. His courage in the face of significant threats, unwavering commitment to the Jedi Order, and dedication to justice and protecting the galaxy, for me, embody the core values of Gryffindor House. Kylo Ren is a complex character in the Star Wars sequel trilogy, known for his struggle between the dark side and the light, and his journey through inner conflict and ultimately redemption. While Gryffindor may not be the obvious choice, Kylo does have moments of bravery and a willingness to face challenges, particularly in combat situations. His actions, however, are often driven by internal conflict and a desire to prove himself, rather than the clear moral courage typically associated with Gryffindor. Admittedly, it's hard to find too many Hufflepuff traits for Kylo Ren. Sure, there is some amount of loyalty there, particularly towards those he cares about, but his actions are often overshadowed by betrayal and a pursuit of power, two traits which certainly clash with Hufflepuff's values of fairness, loyalty, and hard work. He is intelligent and strategic in some areas, often using his knowledge of the Force and his skills to achieve his goals. Ultimately, though, his pursuits are more focused on power and control, rather than a quest for freedom or knowledge for its own sake, which are key Ravenclaw traits. Kylo's ambition, resourcefulness, and cunning, again, are quintessential Slytherin traits. His complex personality, marked by a desire for power, recognition, and finding his place in the galaxy, align with Slytherin's emphasis on ambition and self-determination. His ability to manipulate situations and people to his advantage, as well as his strategic thinking, further highlight Slytherin characteristics. His inner conflict and ultimate redemption do add some depth to his character, but at the end of the day, Kylo's defining traits are ambition, resourcefulness, and that complex inner conflict, which for me place him firmly within Slytherin. R2-D2, the beloved astromech droid, is known for his bravery, loyalty, and resourcefulness. Although not a biological being, R2-D2 displays a range of qualities that we can consider for sorting into a Hogwarts house. He consistently demonstrates bravery and courage throughout the Star Wars saga. He often takes risks to help his friends, whether it's delivering critical messages, participating in dangerous missions, or assisting in crucial battles. His fearless actions, especially in situations where other droids or beings might hesitate, certainly reflect the valor celebrated by Gryffindor House. Loyalty and dedication are also key traits of R2-D2. He's known for his reliability and hard work, always ready to help in any situation. He is steadfastly loyal to his companions, including a young Anakin Skywalker and later Leia Organa and Luke Skywalker. His unwavering commitment to aiding his friends and willingness to go to great lengths to assist them certainly align very well with Hufflepuff's values. R2 is also intelligent and resourceful, capable of solving complex problems, hacking systems, and improvising in unexpected situations. His vast knowledge and ability to think on his feet showcase a Ravenclaw's appreciation for intellect and cleverness. And while R2 is resourceful and can be cunning in how he approaches problems, his motivations are deeply rooted in loyalty and helping others, rather than personal ambition or desire for any kind of power on his own. His cunning is more about ingenuity and adaptability, opposed to the traditional Slytherin pursuit of personal gain. Now, R2 is another complicated one. I think he would fit and do well in Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, or even Ravenclaw. But if I had to nail down his defining traits, I would say the top three are loyalty, bravery, and resourcefulness. His unwavering dedication to his companions, his reliability and consistent efforts to assist and protect those he cares about, for me, embody the core values of Hufflepuff. It's in Hufflepuff House where I think his loyalty and hardworking nature would be celebrated and nurtured the most. Now let's consider another droid frequently at R2's side throughout the series, C-3PO, the protocol droid known for his vast knowledge, linguistic skills, and cautious demeanor. 3PO, while not typically brave in the traditional sense, has moments where he shows some courage, especially when it involves helping his friends or completing important missions. That being said, his primary traits definitely do not align with the traditional valor and daring associated with Gryffindor. Now, he does demonstrate loyalty and dedication, especially to his companions like R2, Luke, and Leia. He's consistently helpful and always willing to assist in diplomatic and communication tasks, which do reflect Hufflepuff's values of hard work and loyalty. His cautious and risk-averse nature, while not adventurous adventurous, do show a strong sense of duty and fairness. 3PO is also highly intelligent and has a vast knowledge, particularly in languages and cultural protocols. He often provides important information and advice which showcases intellect and analytical abilities. His tendency to prioritize understanding and communication over physical action definitely highlight a Ravenclaw-like appreciation for knowledge and learning. His cautious nature and occasional cunning in navigating social situations could also hint at Slytherin traits. But 3PO definitely lacks the ambition, resourcefulness, and desire for influence that typically characterize Slytherin. His primary motivations are far more about service and support opposed to personal gain or his own ambition. 3PO's definitely not a Slytherin, and he's definitely not a Gryffindor. So that leaves Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw. And for 3PO, I think I would have to lean toward his intelligence, vast knowledge, and his strong emphasis on communication and diplomacy as being his defining characteristics. His love of learning, extensive knowledge of languages and customs, and analytical approach to solving problems align closely with the values of Ravenclaw. In Ravenclaw, 3PO's intellectual pursuits and dedication to understanding would be celebrated and nurtured. Chewbacca is another beloved supporting character, known primarily for his loyalty, bravery, and strong sense of friendship. He definitely exhibits bravery throughout the Star Wars saga. His courage is evident in countless battles and missions where he often risks his life to protect his friends and allies. His fearlessness and willingness to confront danger, especially in situations where others might hesitate, align well with Gryffindor's valorous spirit. Loyalty is also one of Chewie's most defining traits. He is fiercely loyal to his friends, particularly Han Solo. He consistently demonstrates a strong sense of duty and commitment to those that he really cares about. His actions are often motivated by a deep sense of compassion and fairness, and all of these definitely reflect Hufflepuff's values of loyalty, hard work, and kindness. Now, I would say Chewbacca is also intelligent, especially in his technical and piloting skills, but his defining traits are not primarily aligned with Ravenclaw's pursuit of knowledge and wisdom. His intelligence is more practical and focused on survival and support rather than academic or intellectual endeavors. Chewbacca's resourcefulness and ability to navigate difficult situations could hint a little bit at Slytherin traits, but his motivations are firmly rooted in loyalty and friendship opposed to ambition or a desire for personal power. Now for Chewbacca, I think it comes down to Gryffindor and Hufflepuff. If forced to choose though, I think Chewbacca's unwavering dedication to those he cares about, his compassionate nature, and his consistent efforts to support and protect others embody the core values of Hufflepuff the most. Next, we have Lando Calrissian, a charismatic and resourceful character known for his charm, strategic thinking, and evolving sense of morality. Lando shows some bravery throughout the series, particularly later in the story, such as when he plays a crucial role in the Rebel Alliance's victory against the Empire. His willingness to join the fight against the Empire, despite his own personal risk, do showcase a Gryffindor-like courage and willingness to stand up for what's right. When it comes to his loyalty, Lando is initially complex and conflicted, as seen in his initial betrayal of Han Solo and Leia to Darth Vader. As he develops, however, he demonstrates a strong sense of fairness and justice, showing a commitment to making amends and doing the right thing. He's also intelligent and strategic, particularly in business and leadership roles. He has an ability to navigate complex political and social situations, and he's also intellectually quick on his feet with good problem-solving skills. All things considered though, his character is more defined by charm and strategic thinking opposed to a pursuit of knowledge for its own sake, which I think eliminate Ravenclaw. Lastly, we'll consider Slytherin and Lando's resourcefulness, ambition, and adaptability, which all definitely align well with Slytherin. His initial actions, such as running Cloud City and making deals with the Empire, show a pragmatic and sometimes cunning side. His ability to charm and persuade, combined with his strategic mindset, reflects Slytherin's emphasis on resourcefulness and cunning. Even so, his actions aren't purely self-serving, and he does grow and evolve to show a deep commitment to justice and the greater good. Lando is another tricky one to place, but I think his most defining traits would be his charm, strategic thinking, and adaptability. Thus, Slytherin is the most fitting house for him. Now we move to Jar Binks, a character mostly remembered for his clumsiness, good-hearted nature, and somewhat accidental heroism. He does exhibit some amounts of bravery, though it's often unintentional, such as his role in the Battle of Naboo and his time in the Galactic Senate. His actions, while sometimes clumsy, are motivated by a desire to help and do what he believes is right, which do showcase a form of courage and willingness to take risks. Jar Jar's defining traits, I think, would have to be his kindness, loyalty, and good-heartedness. He consistently shows a desire to help others and his loyalty to his friends and allies, such as Queen Amidala and the Jedi. His approachable and friendly nature, along with his eagerness to be of service, do align well with Hufflepuff's values of loyalty, hard work, and kindness. And let's just be honest, both Ravenclaw and Slytherin would both be very poor fits for Jar Jar. He doesn't have a high level of intellectual curiosity, and his actions are driven mostly by instinct and emotion rather than analytical thinking or a quest for wisdom. His character also lacks the ambition, cunning, and strategic thinking typically associated with Slytherin. Without a doubt, Hufflepuff is the most fitting house for Jar Jar. His friendly and compassionate nature, along with his consistent efforts to be of service, embody the core values of Hufflepuff the most. Now it's time to sort another respected Jedi Master. Qui-Gon Jinn is known for his wisdom, independent thinking, and deep connection to the Force. Like many Jedi, he exhibits bravery and a strong moral compass throughout his life. He often makes decisions based on what he believes is right, even if it goes against the Jedi Council's directives or conventional wisdom. His courageous actions, such as his determination to train Anakin Skywalker despite the Council's reservations, reflect Gryffindor's values of bravery and standing up for one's own beliefs. He's also dedicated, compassionate, and has a strong sense of duty and fairness. His commitment to helping others and willingness to go against the grain for the greater good do align somewhat with Hufflepuff's values of loyalty, kindness, and justice. Qui-Gon's intellectual curiosity and deep understanding of the Force are quintessential Ravenclaw traits. He often explores the mystical aspects of the Force and emphasizes the importance of intuition and insight over a strict adherence to the rules. His philosophical nature, reflective thinking, and pursuit of greater knowledge align closely with Ravenclaw's appreciation of wisdom and learning. And finally, while Qui-Gon can be resourceful and pragmatic, his motivations are guided by a sense of duty and desire for balance and justice, rather than any kind of personal ambition or need for power. His actions are more about a pursuit of truth and enlightenment. And considering that, I think his defining traits are wisdom, intellectual curiosity, and a deep connection to the mystical aspects of the Force, which makes Ravenclaw the most fitting house for Qui-Gon Jinn. Padmé Amidala, mother of Luke and Leia, is remembered for her intelligence, strong moral values, and dedication to peace and justice. Padmé is intelligent and strategic, often using her sharp mind to navigate complex political landscapes. She has an ability to think critically and make informed decisions, which I think show a Ravenclaw-like appreciation for knowledge and wisdom. She also demonstrates loyalty and dedication, both to her people and to the causes she supports. Her compassionate nature and desire to help those in need align with Hufflepuff values of kindness, fairness, and hard work. Her commitment to peace and diplomacy reflect a deep sense of justice and an unyielding work ethic. Now, she also displays bravery and a strong sense of justice throughout her life. As both the Queen of Naboo and later as a senator, she often takes courageous stands on difficult issues while fighting for the rights and freedoms of her people. Her involvement in dangerous missions and willingness to face powerful adversaries also highlight her courage and commitment to doing what is right, both core traits of Gryffindor. And it's true, she is resourceful and adept at navigating political challenges, but I think her motivations are more guided by altruism and a desire to achieve peace and justice. Definitely more so than any kind of personal ambition or need for power on her own. Her actions reflect a commitment to the greater good, opposed to the cunning or ambition typically associated with Slytherin. Considering Padmé's defining traits of bravery, strong moral values, and a commitment to justice, Gryffindor is likely the most fitting house for her. Darth Vader, formerly Anakin Skywalker, is one of the most iconic characters in the Star Wars universe. Known for his formidable presence, power, and complex morality, we'll try and sort Darth Vader into his ideal Hogwarts house. Now, you may not think of Hufflepuff first, but Anakin's journey and transformation into Darth Vader is marked by a deep conflict between loyalty and betrayal. It's true, he does show moments of loyalty, particularly to friends and mentors, but his actions are far more often driven by personal emotions rather than a consistent commitment to fairness or justice. His journey is marked more by individual struggle and ambition than by the steady, hardworking, and nurturing traits associated with Hufflepuff. And while he later demonstrates loyalty to the Emperor and the Empire, his actions are ultimately driven by personal ambition and a desire for control. His capacity for loyalty is more complex and often overshadowed by darker motivations. So let's face it, there's no chance he's a Hufflepuff. Now, when it comes to Ravenclaw, Darth Vader is highly intelligent and thinks strategically, especially in his understanding and use of the Force. But I would say his pursuit of knowledge is often directed towards increasing his own power rather than a genuine quest for understanding or wisdom. His intellectual pursuits are secondary to his drive for control and dominance. For Anakin, I think it comes down to Gryffindor and Slytherin. Now for Gryffindor, he does display immense bravery and a strong desire to protect those he loves, especially in his younger days. His heroism is evident in numerous battles and missions where he often takes bold and courageous actions. He's also reckless and has a difficulty adhering to authority, which is a strength and a flaw. And seeing how often Harry, Ron, and Hermione broke the rules, this could very well fit with Gryffindor's daring nature. When it comes to Slytherin, Darth Vader embodies many of the traits associated with that house, including ambition, resourcefulness, and a desire for power. His transition from Anakin Skywalker to Darth Vader was fueled by a deep fear of loss and a desire to protect those he loved. This eventually twists into a quest for control over the entire galaxy. His cunning, strategic mind, and willingness to use any means necessary to achieve his goals align very closely with Slytherin's values. Even in his darkest moments, his actions are driven by complex motivations, including his eventual redemption and sacrifice for his son Luke. At the end of the day, Vader's deep-seated ambition, thirst for power and influence, and complex character arc embody the nuanced nature of Slytherin. While you could certainly make a case for Gryffindor, especially in his younger days, Slytherin is the most fitting house for him. Thank you so much to all of our channel members for your support. You guys really help make videos like this possible, and I want to give a special shout out to our Tier 3 Phoenix level members, The Flash, Martin, Savage Khaleesi, and Dylan. You guys are the best. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.